the roofing on the Student Center and the Campus Safety Building, establishment of a grants office, some advising costs, which we originally thought would be picked up through the Perkins grant that need to come through the general fund, and some software purchases. And so when you net the two of those together, the 1.6 million revenue and the 649,000 increase in expenses, that shows a positive 951,000. So you add that to our initial surplus of 257,000, and we're now projecting a surplus this year of 1.2 million.
The Perkins for advisors, the
Yes.
Perkins funds cannot be used for advisors or reason?
Perkins funds can be used to cover a portion of the advisors, but not to the extent that was originally anticipated, because in order for Perkins fund to be used for advising, it's only specific curricular areas that those costs can go to. Trade and apprentice, I can't give you the full list, but it's more in the trades area where you can use those Perkins costs. And I think the original projection was that advisors would spend a larger portion of their time on those types of student advising than they actually are. And as a result, we have to transfer some of those. The costs are not higher than they were originally. It's just that we're going to have to pay a portion of them out of general funds because we can't expense as much of it to Perkins.
Okay, thanks.
Yes, sir.
For in the expenditures, the administration, it's increasing by over 10%. What's causing that?
When we net things out, one of the largest changes in that particular area is we have changed how we're providing our information technology services. And so we've ended our contract with a third-party servicer, and we've moved those people onto the HFC payroll. So actually, and I get the detail out here, if you look down under other purchase services, you're going to see not quite totally offsetting, but a large offsetting number that goes against that to net out to an improvement.
Okay.
Anybody else? Any questions? Thank you, Mr. Collar.
Thank you.
Next item, please.
Now, action items, citizen participation. Citizens wishing to address the board on agenda and non-agenda items for action who have submitted a blue card to the secretary may speak at this time. I don't have any blue cards. Special consideration of an action item. Are there any action items on this agenda which board members or the president wish to discuss and vote on separately? If there are, we will exclude these from the actions below.
Trustee Lane?
Yeah, there's 14 items on here. I was wondering if we could just table all of them.
Is that a motion?
Well, I mean, does it make any problem?
Well, is there a reason for that?
Well, it seems as if we're just a rubber stamp here. I'm very disturbed that it seems like the college staff just goes ahead with things and doesn't pay attention to legalities and niceties. I'm referring to the website showing that we hired someone who's on this agenda. And I believe that that was in the paper as well. So it seems to me as if some staff, I don't know who, just considers this board to be a nicety. I personally think that's an insult to the members of the board. In the P12, they have something that's called pending board approval. So I'm shocked to find out that things are put up without our approval. Maybe we're just here for the millage rather than for the legal authority.
Becky?
I will take full responsibility for that, Mary, and I do apologize. As you know, we have some new staff members, and I did not make her aware of the fact that there are no new staff hires. They are all pending board approval. So my culpa, that was, I take full
I don't mean to insult anyone, but, you know, it is the board,
Absolutely.
regardless of what anybody thinks of us. It is the board that holds the legal authority, and it's not official until we vote on it. And I am greatly affronted to think that, I mean, as it is, we live here, we pay taxes, we're elected by the people here to run the college, not, and I have great respect for the staff. I know that almost everybody gives their all, but when I see something printed as official that's not official, it's an affront to the board.
And Becky and I talked about that as well. Dr. Mead, when you called, I looked at it right away and it says, oops, we should have had pending board approval on that. That is something that won't be done in the future. It will be taken care of in the future. Any kind of announcements, I will always have that caveat that nothing is really goes forward or anything's posted on that website unless it's approved by the board. Trustee Petlicoff?
I will say that I also saw the same posting. I happened to be in the building on Thursday and saw the name already on the office, and we hadn't heard anything about this hire. And I was fine with that. I said, okay, I'll wait. It was Thursday. We hadn't gotten our agenda yet, and I knew that. But then when I saw it already posted on the website, and then it got into the press and guide, I too was extremely unhappy because it gives the impression to the community that the board is just a formality. And we are not a formality. We have a role here. We have a legal responsibility, and we are the final signing authority on everything with the college as well as with the P12. This is not the first time I've experienced this. We had the same issue happen at the P12 actually many years ago where names were announced prior to a board vote, and we dealt with it exactly the same way. We were all very unhappy as a board that it appeared that our vote was just a formality and we were a rubber stamp. And none of us is sitting here because that's how we want to operate. And we want to give confidence to the community that they elected us to actually have a voice to represent them. And they need to be reassured that we are not just here doing the bidding of the administration alone. It's not that we don't trust the administration's decisions and that we won't most likely approve, but I will tell you that in the past there have been a few times where a hire was not approved because something was uncovered between the HR's decision and a board's overview of that individual, and something came to light. So we would never want an announcement made prior to the final authority that approves it. So I also was quite alarmed when I saw that because it was disappointing. It does feel like an insult and a disrespect to the board's job and what we were elected to do. So I have to say that I was very uncomfortable, and I was planning on making a statement as well. So just to let it be known that we do pay attention and we are watching and reading.
Trustee Thorpe?
Going along with what Trustee Petlicoff said, my thought is, why would we even be releasing the statement saying pending board approval? Wouldn't it be a lot safer to wait until it's been approved so we can all save face in case for some reason it doesn't go through? I know that we're in a constant 24-hour news cycle nowadays, but if people have to wait one more week to find out, I don't think it's going to change their lives.
Trustee Hamud?
I was actually going to say also what Trustee Thorpe said, but I do appreciate Trustee Vice President Petlicoff and Trustee Mary Lane for bringing this up. You know, the press release says Henry Ford College appoints Vice President for Student Affairs and gives the name. I personally also thought that that was disrespectful because I consider myself to be a part of Henry Ford College. And as of right now, we haven't appointed anyone. And further on in the article, even if we were to say pending board approval, we have a quote from our president extending basically congratulations. And I would like to offer this person, you know, a great and warm welcome to the college. I understand that there was no malicious intent to do some harm to the board. But I think that this is important to address because it wasn't only timing that's an issue. It really is the content of what was written in this article that is an issue. And I hope that we could take that into consideration. I don't feel like I'm a rubber stamp. This article, in one way or another, makes it seem like we all are. I know that we'll move past this, but this is very important to address. For someone also to have their name on an office and move in, I don't know what the prior practices have been in the past, but I think that this was something that we should have discussed. I would have liked to know more about that person, especially since we do talk and we do have meetings. And those were my thoughts as well, so.
Trustee Sylvia.
Also, on top of what everybody else has said, the position doesn't start until the 31st. And so it seemed to me like everything was kind of rushed. It was rushed to get the news out there. We didn't have approval. The position isn't even filled. He doesn't start until a couple weeks from now, so.
Trustee Lane?
Well, thank you to my colleagues for speaking more eloquently than I myself. I don't need the entire agenda pulled, but I would like to pull then numbers 7, 8, and 10.
I just have a quick question on number 5. It doesn't need to be polled.
Okay. At this, recommended action, move to approve action items numbered 1 through 14 as recommended in this agenda with the exceptions of 7, 8, and 10.
So moved.
Support?
All those in favor indicate by,
Well, can I ask my question for 5?
yes, you certainly may.
And I don't know if Mr. Cunningham can answer this or not, but I did notice, and I just want to be reassured, this, on the patient simulators, there was a huge difference in price between the two bids, by almost double. And I want to just be reassured that, they always say you get what you pay for, that we are getting a quality product because of that huge price difference. I'm not sure what made up that difference.
Actually, Mr. Patter's here tonight. So he will-
Yeah, I know, I figured when I saw him, I didn't ask him when he came up here. Yeah.
Actually, with this bid, it's a Perkins-funded piece of equipment for a respiratory therapist program. The original specifications were for the Gamard kidney simulators, which is basically a unique proprietary kind of technology that's used in that program. Since it's funded with federal monies, when we issue the bid, we have to make it as wide open as possible. So, in the specifications, we list the characteristics that we want on this particular piece of equipment, and we reference a Gamard model number or equivalent product. There aren't very many manufacturers that can duplicate this. There really are basically none. We tried to look at and find them. Laerdal is another big manufacturer of patient simulators. We've got a lot of Laerdal equipment at the college. They did the best they could to come up with something that met
The specifications.
the requirement that the respiratory therapy program needs, and they just couldn't come close.
Okay, so the $50,000 basically difference between the product, it doesn't have to do with quality as much as, so, okay, that's all I wanted to make sure of is that we're not going to be revisiting this a year from now because we're buying something that, listen, I don't have a problem with spending less money as long as we're getting a quality product and we're not going to be looking at it 6 months from now and saying, oh, it's a piece of garbage.
We've purchased other Gamard
Okay.
products, and the faculty, the students are.
It was just such a dramatically different value that I thought something doesn't seem right. Okay, thank you.
And this is what you were hoping for based on the
Anyway.
manufacturer, right? So
This fits their
it's-
needs, yeah.
All right, compatibility-wise, it's not going to be a problem with any of the other systems? Okay.
So we have a motion
Yeah.
to move to approve action items numbered 7, number
No.
1 through 14, skipping 7, 8,
And
and 9.
And
10.
10.
And
7, 8,
10.
and 10.
7, 8, and 10. All those in favor, what?
I support it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Trustee Barry.
supported. All those, I'm sorry?
Yeah.
Okay. So all those in support of this motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, that's unanimous. Now, 7, 8, and 10. What would you like, how would you like to proceed, trustee?
Well, here's my issue with these. I don't have any issue with people retiring or people being appointed, although I did notice in the background that someone is being apparently promoted in one of the positions, and they're going to be getting their degree in May. So normally, we're an institution of higher learning. I would think that we would promote them after they get their degree rather than before. So I had a question about that. But my bigger issue is this. These are, I don't have a lot of issues with 7. I mean, people are retiring, resigning, appointing, I don't have any issue with that.
Are we doing these separately?
Yeah, I could
Let's-
separate,
let's
we
go
could
ahead.
do 7.
Let's do,
We could
let's
do
put the motion on the
7s.
table, and
Yeah,
then we'll
yep,
go into
yeah.
discussion.
So I have
please.
more
so
questions
7
on 8 and 10.
Yes, 7, 8, and 10, all three fall under human resources. Number 7 is staff recommendations.
Yeah.
Recommended action, move to approve staff recommendations as presented in Board Report 4415, resignations, retirements, appointments, reappointments, and change of classification.
So moved.
Support.
All those in favor indicate
Now,
by
no need to
saying.
go into.
What?
Does she
Now
get-
discuss.
Now she will
Yeah.
go into
Yeah, yeah.
discussion.
Okay, so
Oh.
no, it was 8 and 10 that I.
Oh, so 7 we can.
Seven, we can go ahead with
Go
7.
ahead.
So, yeah, Dr. Mead, go ahead.
All those in favor of item 7
Aye.
indicate by aye. All those opposed, it's unanimous. All right, now we go to 8.
Okay, so
Okay,
8.
number 8, let's put the
Go
motion
ahead.
on the table, please, yeah. Number 8, Director of Human Resources and Employee Relations, Human Resources, Vice President Glass. Recommended action, move to approve the appointment of Linda Torbell to the position of Assistant Director of Human Resources and Employee Relations, Human Resources at Grade 3, Step 4 of the 2017-2018 Henry Ford College Exempt Senior Administrative Salary Schedule, 48 weeks, effective January 2nd, 2018.
So moved.
Support?
Okay,
Now discussion.
Can we have discussion?
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah. Actually, I would like to ask that the motion be withdrawn, and I'd like to table these two, because I don't have background on how many, where do they fit into the administrative chart? I haven't had background on, or justification. I mean, normally, when we add administration, when we add a lot of administrators, that starts to skew our class ratio, it skews our costs. We haven't filled a lot of positions. A couple of years ago, we were laying off people. We have a new president who will be coming in. Why are we adding staff now? And, you know, Becky normally brings forward a lot of statistics for all the different departments. When something comes forward like a tuition raise, we've got lots of background on why we need to do it. But I don't know why we're hiring people. I don't have any comparison to what the departments look like in other places. So the only background there is the people's background, and I have no objection to the people's background. I'm very pleased with the people. But I just don't see structurally, how does this change our statistics, administrative to student direct services?
So you're asking
So
for.
I would like to have it tabled. I think we need more information, and I think an incoming president who may be here in a couple of months would be better suited to review. So,
Yes.
After hearing trustee Lane's argument, I withdraw my support for the motion. Somebody else would have to support it if we're going to move forward.
Both of these positions
Yep.
are actually replacements, so this is not, we had a resignation of Deborah Pace for the talent acquisition position, and so that's been vacant. The assistant director, there's a vacancy of a director position, instead of filling the director and filling it as an assistant director, so these are actual current vacancies.
It's my understanding that there has been no justification for that. The board is totally aware of what you're doing. Yeah, that's the issue. From what I see, there is need for the board to be informed about why the costs and why we're hiring people.
I would like
Because
to
it
say
is our
that-
responsibility
Yeah,
to
Dr.
hire
Mead.
them.
And the thing is, once we hire someone,
They're here forever.
they're ours. It's like having a kid, you know, when they come, they're yours. You know, you got them. So we could have these people for 20, 30, 40 years. So I see no objection that I would have to the people, but I do think that we're on the cusp of having someone new come in who can look at the organization and see where are we thin, where are we not, and what kind of long-term costs do we incur with every one of these positions. So that's why I'm making the motion, because potentially, it's potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars per position over many years.
Trustee Petlishkoff?
Well, I just, since we were told that these were already positions that existed, can I assume, though, that they're already built into the budget?
Yes.
Okay, so it's not a new cost to the budget, that already exists, and is, I'm going to assume, being held right now. How long has these positions been vacant? More than a year, less than a year?
The director has been over a year.
That's what I thought.
and the, Talent acquisition, probably August.
6 months, yeah. Okay. Just to help clarification.
So we have.
And just to clarify also too, Dr. Glass is correct that this was part of the HR budget. When the budget was passed on June 30th of 2018, the director position was not put into the budget. The assistant director was placed into the budget, and Deborah Pace was here as the talent manager at that point and was fully budgeted as part of the budget continuation process.
Well, it probably would have been a lot easier. We probably wouldn't have the discussion if we had more information. So I think the bottom line is that we need justification for hiring people, because we are accountable to the public for the people that we hire and that we approve. So I have a motion, but I don't have a second. If there is no second, then what? Then it dies.
Yeah.
And there's no need to table it then.
So number 8 is no longer
8 and 10.
approved, it's not approved by the board, correct? All right.
And 10.
So we still have to,
You still have to read 10.
read 10, so. Number 10, Talent Acquisition Coordinator, Human Resources, Vice President Glass. Recommended action, move to approve the appointment of Terlyn Hagan to the position of Talent Acquisition Coordinator, Human Resources at Grade 4, Step 2, 2017-2018, Henry Ford College, exempt senior administrative salary schedule, 48 weeks, effective February 1st, 2018.
Well, the same case applies here as I made previously, so.
The effective start date for this position is the 1st, but I'm assuming.
The other one is
the other one
January
already-
2nd, so there's
already
already been
started?
a pay increase.
She started?
Is anybody moving on this?
I just have a question. So this started on January 2nd prior to board approval?
No, February 1st.
No, we're going back
Number
to 8.
Number eight.
8 said effective January 2nd.
I mean, I understand
She
certain
started.
positions have to. I mean, obviously, teaching positions have to, but
It would have been effective January 2nd had it been approved. She's currently in a position on an interim basis, so this would only become effective on January 2nd.
We're into discussion with no motion on the table.
Oh, it's
You mean
Just for the
record?
record, just for the record.
Is there a motion?
No. Next item.
Next item.
Board of Trustee business, acknowledgements of correspondence.
I don't think we've had any
Okay.
correspondence.
Board committee reports.
No committees, no policy
The
committee.
policy committee?
We started the policy committee going to every other month.
So moving on, requests for information and/or future agenda items.
I just want to make sure, because we haven't heard an update recently, and I know you're the chair of the presidential search, and I just saw that there have been some scheduled meetings coming up. Are we progressing well with, because I have no idea where we're at with this, how well it's moving forward?
Well, there are 33 members of the committee. And all of these committee members now are going to be given electronically the applications of the people who are interested in the position of president.
When was the
And-
cutoff?
Yesterday.
Yesterday, okay.
So what do we
still
have?
A few coming in yesterday.
Okay.
So, I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. So then, every member of the committee is going to review every application electronically. They're going to fill out an evaluation form, and on January 31st, they will all convene. They will bring with them their evaluation sheets. We will then try to get the group to move to 7 possibilities, and these people will be interviewed in the future. We might even get them down to 5 if we can, all right? And then they'll be interviewed by the committee, and recommendations will be made to the board, and the board then will make the final decision. When they, 7 or 5 or 7 or whatever that number is, comes to campus, they will be interviewed by every group on campus so that they will be exposed. The people will be able to see the candidates and talk to the candidates and make their recommendations also. Then it will come to the board for their interviewing these people, these candidates, and a decision will be made. But we're definitely on track. We would hope that sometime around March or April, we would have a new president. Anything else? Is
No,
that-
I just wanted, since I hadn't heard anything in a couple of months.
Maybe I should communicate too.
Just to follow up,
Yeah.
Chairman, I did ask originally if the other board members could also be privy of that information, the applicants that applied, if we wanted to look, everything be available to us, just like it's available in case we did want to put in some input. So, and,
Yep, we can make that happen.
okay.
That's legitimate. Okay, great.
How many applicants do we have?
There's going to be between 35 and 40.
Okay.
Because they were still coming in yesterday. In fact, they received one today as well. So-
It was slow at start, and good community college people, they wait till the last bloody minute. Okay, anybody, anything else? All right, where are we? sir?
Next item is board member commentary.
I think we all made our commentaries.
Well,
Yes.
based on the conversations that we were just having regarding hiring and waiting for a new president to come in, what should we let everyone know between now and the new person taking effect? Are we saying, don't bring us any recommendations? Or making sure that we're getting any recommended hires well before the start date? What message are we sending to HR specifically for other people?
What do you think the message is?
Well, I am not going to be able to tell you the critical roles of the
Right.
college and what is not a critical role. I assume that the president of the college, working alongside the leadership, knows that, and they can bring us the positions that they feel are critical. Because we don't want to stop the business of the college over the next couple of months.
Agreed, agreed.
But
So,
there has
but-
to be justification, there has to be an explanation. People on the board have to feel that they know
Yeah.
these candidates and that they know
It
that
all
they should
goes
fit.
back to communication, communication, communication. That's all it is. You know, we're a team here. It's just about communication.
Trustee Barry, I think.
Yes, sir.
I believe for a long time, we've had good leadership at this college, and yes, we need to continue doing business as usual. There hasn't been, Dr. Jensen left, there hasn't been that many changes with the leadership. But I think what I'm hearing my colleagues say is that, yes, we need the information, we need more of it up front. I know things happened, okay, like Trustee Hamud said, we're going to move past this. I think I would welcome if there's recommendations for the, for the betterment of the college. I would welcome it as long as there's communications in advance.
Any other comments? Okay, next item, please.
Future meeting dates. Wednesday, January 31st, 2018, Henry Ford College Special Presidential Advisory Search Committee meeting, 5 p.m. at the Welcome Center in the community rooms. Monday, February 12th, 2018, P through 12 Policy Committee meeting, 6 p.m. at the Administrative Service Center in the Superintendent's Conference Room. Monday, February 12th, 2018, P through 12 Board of Education meeting, 7 p.m. at the Administrative Service Center in the Frank Franchi Boardroom. Wednesday, February 14th, 2018, P through 12 special meeting open, 3 p.m. at the Administrative Service Center in the Frank Franchi Boardroom. Saturday, February 17th, 2018, and Sunday, February 18th, 2018, HFC Special Presidential Advisory Search Committee meetings at 8 a.m. at the Dearborn Inn in the Fairlane Rouge River Rooms. Monday, February 19th, 2018, HFC Special Board of Trustees Policy Committee meeting, 6 p.m. at the Henry Ford College Administrative Service and Conference Center in the Presidential Conference Room. There's a second page.
Second.
Monday, February 19th, 2018, HFC Board of Trustees meeting, 7 p.m. at the Henry Ford College Administrative Services and Conference Center in the Rosenau Boardroom. Monday, March 26, 2018, HFC Special Board of Trustees meeting, 6 p.m. at the Henry Ford College Administrative Services and Conference Center in the Rosenau Boardroom. Monday, April 2nd, 2018, Henry Ford College Special Board of Trustees meeting, 6 p.m. at the Henry Ford College Administrative Services and Conference Center in the Rosenau Boardroom.
Trustee Thorpe.
Trustee Hamud had asked about making sure that the other members of the board could get a glimpse, kind of all the applicants. Everyone who was on the search committee had to sign a confidentiality form. So we would just need to make sure that the other members of the board then are following those rules as well.
Well said, very
Good
important.
That's,
We cannot let
Yeah.
and maybe
any
if
of
we
the
can all
information
get some
reputation is
to
at
sign.
stake.
We could tell.
Okay.
The